Attention, brave viewers. This video features adults immersed in a spine-chilling horror RPG experience. The content likely includes supernatural elements, horror-related events, and potentially scenes of violence. Viewer discretion is advised. Enjoy.
Well, howdy, friends and floor heads. It is a Wednesday night. I am a bachelor this week, so I've got like 3 or 4 games going on, and
Nice.
we played this last Saturday for the first time on the channel. And not only was it a huge hit with the audience, but the table and I absolutely had a blast with it. And so I was sitting around going, well, wife and kid are out of town, and I got nothing else going on a Wednesday night. And reached out to 3 of my all-star players and said, you guys want to play some Zombie World? And they jumped on. So for those of you who don't know, you probably know DZ from several shows, most recently Public Access. Below him is Nathan. Nathan has been playing in Court of Blades most recently. And then Robert has been a fellow teenager band member with me on Limelight. But that is not what we're playing tonight, because tonight the zombie apocalypse has arrived. Now, the way that this game is built, it's a beautiful box set, by the way. It's available for Magpie Games. Highly recommend buying the physical product. It's really outstanding. It's all card driven. Yes, thank you. It is. We start off with nothing. Now, I did ask them to pick their enclave. You have several choices for enclaves. If you watch the previous playthrough, the #1 playthrough, they picked the hospital. I did not give these 3 players that option, so they chose the prison. So I think we need to start off by making some decisions about our prison. So let's flip over so we can see the card. And on the prison, we have got one scarcity already marked, and that is food. So food is scarce here in your prison enclave. We also have one marked in the population. We have a noteworthy prisoner. That's going to be the last thing we decide on, is who is that noteworthy prisoner. But now we need to pick 2 more scarcities, 2 more surroundings, 2 advantages, and 2 more population to kind of flesh out where we have been living during this apocalypse. And we do it kind of round robin snake. So I'm going to start off with you, Nate. You can pick from any of the 4 categories. Let's start off. What category do you think you want to pick from?
Oh, I think I want to think about population.
Okay.
I think we've got a very nice little suburban family amongst us here in this prison.
All right. So I need a little bit more information about this suburban family.
Oh,
What are they made up by? Who's in this family?
we've got 2 lovely fathers and a boy and a girl, about 8 and 10 years old.
Right.
They are just the nicest folks you'll ever meet, and oh God, they hated having to come to the prison, and they're terrified of all of us.
So do we think they're relatively new to the Enclave?
I think so.
Okay.
How
And
far into Z-Day? How far after Z-Day is this?
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay.
We can figure that out
Season
as
2,
we
maybe.
play, or we can decide now. That's completely up to us, which is kind of fun. All right. So I have got a nice suburban family, 2 fathers and 2 children, 1 8 and 1 10. They're very nice. They're relatively new. That's all the definition I think we need. We're going to see how they play out, and we'll make them part of the fiction as we go, or they may be no part of it because you all die in the first scene with the zombies. All right. Next, Robert, you have potentially 1 more population you can choose, or we've got 2 advantages, 2 surroundings, and 2 more scarcities we need. What are you thinking?
All right, I am thinking surroundings, and I am looking at a large body of water.
All right. So
And
talk to me about this.
what I'm thinking is Alcatraz style.
Oh, interesting. So you're thinking we are surrounded by water.
Correct.
So, oh, an island prison. Very nice. Now, talk to me. Is this do we have a river that's been split and they built a prison on an island in the middle of a river? Are we out in the ocean, kind of like an Alcatraz? Where do you think we are?
Actually, I think we're in a lake,
Okay.
and they built it in the middle of the lake. They made a man-made island out there. But outside the prison, there's actually small structures and stuff that the guards and their families can live. And
Ooh.
because they go in shifts, so instead of back and forth, back and forth.
Yep. There's like dorms.
So, yeah, and there's a small little uh, like a diner, and there's a small little
A general
store
store.
yeah, like a little general store like that.
Yep.
It's nothing big and major, but it's just there to try to give them something to do.
Now, question. Is the only way to access this prison before the apocalypse via water, or was there a bridge? So this is before the apocalypse.
No, it's via water.
Okay. So
Or
there's
helicopter. There is a helicopter pad.
got a helicopter pad. We got, and then we've got docks, right? And then people are only shipped for them. So I guess the question is, I mean, there's obviously discouragement for the reason they would build this prison is it's nice to have a moat essentially around it. Is there something other than it just being water that helped prevent prisoners from trying to escape? So maybe is the water super cold, generally speaking, very deep?
It's in Florida. There's alligators.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah,
yeah.
I know all about that.
Yeah.
So let's say swimming. Swimming is
Not to
say
step on your thing.
No, let's say swimming is dangerous, and we'll
Yeah,
decide
yeah.
what that danger is.
Yeah,
All right.
we could put it over in the Pacific Ocean. It's cold as hell over there, so
That's why Alcatraz was
Yeah.
built where it was, right?
yeah.
So
let's
we're
do
thinking,
cold. And there could be sharks. Let's
Okay,
not
so-
look at the ocean. Let's just kind of come out a little ways from the ocean, like Alcatraz in a little bay area.
So
Make
so
it
it
a
is
little
in the
easier.
ocean.
Yeah. Make it a little easier, so that way you got sharks and the cold water.
perfect. Perfect. It makes it a great place for to also have an enclave, which
Right.
which is good. DZ, now you get to pick two, my friend. We need one more population, two advantages, another surroundings, and two more scarcity. What are you thinking?
I want to play off that surrounding and say that there is a offshore Coast Guard station somewhere nearby that is.
You're thinking the dangerous
accessible.
military outpost?
Yeah, maybe.
Where'd my blue go? All right.
So is there like a discrete list of?
Yeah,
things
so
that I'm
if you
picking from?
go to the upper left-hand corner of
Okay,
your playmat,
alright.
you'll see prison 2, and you can see where we're kind of marking things.
Oh, I see up there. Okay, I missed
Yeah.
it. Gotcha. Okay.
So dangerous military outposts is, or do you like something else now that you see the lists?
I was thinking forest until we ended up on an island.
Well, having dense forest on the coast.
Let's do dangerous military outpost. Yeah,
Perfect.
That fits the what I was picturing. Like it's
And that
probably
works.
good in
Okay.
supplies.
Yeah, and that works too because the transportation of prisoners back and forth, if they're using a Coast Guard station, it's secure.
Right.
So,
Yep, good call.
Yeah.
DZ, you have another one. We're good on surroundings. So we
Yeah.
need two more scarcities, another population, and two advantages.
Let's do scarcity, suburban comforts.
Oh, you're right in my head, brother.
All right, so that's pretty vague. So what are we when we say suburban comforts, what are we thinking about? What's scarce?
I think that the plumbing, there was some kind of disaster that happened like shortly after the Enclave was founded, and it is irreparable. So there's no more toilets or sinks or showers. We have to do that the old-fashioned way. All that.
So no running water. And I would imagine that also creates no fresh water.
Yeah, I think maybe we've set up a system of like boiling or desalinating or
Right.
something that like
Sure.
will get the job done.
Yep.
But we don't have like a huge surplus of it for sure.
Right, and there's no drinking fountains, right? So it's
Yeah.
stuff that's collected rainwater and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
We might
drinking water
ration
is not a
water.
scarcity. You've solved for that, but it's running water, hot showers,
Yeah.
stuff like that. That totally fits, I think, for suburban comforts. All right, Robert, we're back to you. I need either another scarcity, another population, or 2 advantages. What are you thinking?
I think, I mean, the obvious is the small group of prison guards, but I think I want to go with an advantage, and they have an infirmary.
Excellent. All right. So, what I'm going to do is go down to your enclave. Now, one thing I didn't mention is in the prison, you have the hide from danger advantage, which is when you hide from danger in the cells of the prison, you draw survival. On a hit, you are safe. On a triumph, you remain hidden. On a miss, you run into something worse than whatever you were fleeing. And then on lock someone up, another advantage you have is when you try to calm down a PC by locking them up, draw survival instead of steal. And on a miss, another member of the colony takes issue with your tactics. But we just said, let's take a look here. You said infirmary, right?
Yeah.
All right. So the infirmary, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to add the infirmary card to your enclave, and let's talk about what that does. When you give everyone in the enclave basic medical checkups in the infirmary, draw survival and exhaust this advantage. On a hit, everyone checked takes +1 going to +1 ongoing to suffering serious harm until time passes. And on a triumph, the clinic consumes few resources. This advantage is not exhausted. On a miss, your efforts to expose a serious illness or contagion in the population. Very nice. All right. So going now to you, Nathan, I need either another advantage or another population or another scarcity.
I'm going to the scarcities. I watched Alien 3 fairly recently.
Oh,
And I'm
sorry.
thinking there are no weapons in this place.
So my question for that is, I mean, obviously improvised weapons, we can't prevent that from happening, right? So, but we're talking no guns, no machetes, things like that. Why is that? So, I mean, there was guns and, riot gear and stuff like that, before the happened. What happened at the apocalypse that caused this to become now a scarcity? Or is it a situation where they've been locked away from the general population? What are you thinking?
I think that we were left here to basically die. Like when Z-Day hit, the guards were kind of pressed into military service and called to the mainland, and they were like, "These people can starve. We don't care about them." And they left us here, and they took all the weapons because they didn't want us showing up.
That's excellent. Excellent. So they cleaned the place out.
Yeah.
He said, "Screw you. You're going to pay the rest of your debt to society here. Good luck. Hopefully zombies can't swim." All right. Going back now, you get a second one, Nate.
Oh,
So I think we're at population or an advantage.
well, I just kind of said that the guards had been called away.
Maybe they called back after everything went to shit.
Or maybe a bunch of shitty guards weren't taken. Right? There's all kinds
Or
of
the
possibilities.
noble ones didn't leave.
I think that's it. I think there were like a couple guards that were like trying to do the right thing, and we're like, "We can't do that to you guys," and refused to go, and then eventually unlocked. Like for those of us that were locked up, unlocked it for us. But that's not the like. There are guys doing their best, but they're not working with a lot.
So my question about these prison guards then is, they stayed because they just found it unethical what the government was doing, right? And what the other guards were doing. So they said, no, that we're not leaving these people to die. We're going to stay here with them. Maybe a little selfishness going, you know what? If I was going to be anywhere during a zombie apocalypse, I kind of want to be here. My question is, what role do they have now? So are they just general population like everybody else and everyone's equal here, including our suburban family and our noteworthy prisoner? Or do they have a position of authority? Does the population look to them still as being authoritatively a little bit above the way they were before the apocalypse?
It's authoritative, but not contiguously. So like there's enough factionalization that they thought they were going to be the boss of everything, and they quickly found out that there were some other people that were also going to be the boss,
Got it.
and they rely on the people that do trust them, but they're kind of outnumbered.
All right, DZ. The advantages have been whittled down by other decisions. I don't know if we can go with armory, right?
Yeah.
Garage is a little tough.
I mean, strong fences seems like it's built in. I mean, it's not a literal fence, but the water is kind of the metaphorical fence around the place.
Well, there is, but are we dealing with stone walls that surround this, or is it just chain linked fences?
It's probably elevated, like it's like an old prison.
Okay.
I have Alcatraz in my head now, but like where it was built like a castle, so they built it up off of the water. At least the prison itself. Maybe the dormitories and stuff are down at ground level, but
well, let's do this. I'm going to
That's the
drag. I'm going to put it right next. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you're
Yeah,
good.
the garage doesn't have to be a garage. It could be like the boat dock or something like that too.
So
Just
let's look at
modify it.
Yeah, let's look at strong fences, DZ, and see if this works for
Oh,
you.
sure.
So strong fences are when you check to repair your strong fences, draw survival. On a hit, you suss out weak points and address them with supplies on hand. The entire enclave is considered to be barricaded against intrusion until time passes. On an edge, the process is tiresome, and on a miss, your inspection reveals a betrayal that you didn't see coming. So
I like
just
that miss.
Yeah, that's
this
what I
is
was
good.
thinking.
What does the garage do?
Let's look at garage. So I just dealt that out for you. When you perform a tune-up on a vehicle in the garage, draw survival. On a hit, you ensure the vehicle is in top shape. So what if we say that's the boat, the boat dock?
Yeah, and we have a boat.
Oh, you can use it as a triumph. Okay. Yeah, sure. We can start with that.
All right. So we're going to have a garage, but we're going to call it a dock. So I like that.
Maybe a couple of like jet skis or something of like random people that have showed up.
I like
Just
that.
hoping.
Oh, the suburban family arrived on 2 jet skis.
Gee, yeah.
They were just out for a nice day, and they were
Like
like,
pontoon
a
boat or
raft.
something, or a sailboat. Yeah. All right. So now going back to our prison, we have got population. We have got, all right. This goes back to you, Robert. Who is our noteworthy prisoner? And by implication, I'm going to say this is not population. This is somebody who's locked up. Right?
Oh.
Everybody else is running around, but there's somebody noteworthy that the enclave has decided they need to stay behind bars.
Oh, okay. So it's the modern day Jack the Ripper, and he goes by Ripper. He basically emulated that, but adapted it to modern days.
So we have got a serial killer,
Serial killer.
that even the criminals and the guards said, yeah, everybody can come out except for you.
And he's cannibalistic.
Oh, even better. Okay. We have a cannibal serial killer called Ripper. All right. So we have done a good job. Now I just need to know, what is the name of our enclave? And this name can be what it was called before the apocalypse. This name can be what it's called now. What are we going to do here?
Island.
Just the island. That's not bad.
Nathan?
What if it got named after, like, it took some name after that most infamous prisoner? It became known as Ripper Island, even though, because that's what the population knew it as.
Yeah. Because obviously this was in the papers, forever. So
Yeah.
I like that.
People are like, we really shouldn't call it that, but it just stuck. It just stuck.
Well, then you get the macabre, like sightseers too.
Right. Yeah. Let's go out to Ripper Island. Right. All right. So scarcities, we got comforts and weapons. So I'm going to put that real quick so it have it on our enclave. So we've got comforts.
Do the guards have any weapons?
I don't know.
I think these guards are the ones who, like, they weren't necessarily as charismatic or as good of leaders as the other ones, so they agreed to stay behind. But the guards that were leaving were like, okay, but we're taking everything with
Yeah,
us.
we're not leaving weapons with you to have these guys take them from you and come behind us. So they got left with no weapons or anything. I like that.
All right, and a
No
family.
batons, nothing.
All right, and then surroundings. We said we have got a military outpost and a large body of water.
And Robert, I missed that last thing you said. What was that?
I was gonna say, would they have like at least batons?
I mean, yeah, I think
They could probably make
that's our improvised
Right.
sticks, but like,
All
Just get
right,
some
I think
rebar.
Yeah.
Ripper Island. I think we know our enclave. So now let's talk about who the hell you guys are. So on your cards, on your playmats, you've got a past, a present, and a trauma. The past is what you were before the apocalypse. The present is what's your role now. And then trauma is how bad did this, what messed you up? Why are you not completely okay? Your past and your trauma, those are going to be hidden to everybody, including me, except for yourself. When you get your trauma and your past cards, you'll see that there's a bonus, something you gain by revealing your trauma and revealing your past. It'll stay in your hand until then. So let's start off. I'm going to go to pasts and I'm going to start dealing out some cards. So we're going to deal one card to Nathan. I'm going to deal one card to DZ. And then I'm going to deal one card to Robert.
so we drag these to our.
Don't do anything with them. Keep them in your hand. So you should be able to click while they're in your hand. You should be able to click on them and click on them again to expand them out. I'll give you guys a chance to look at your.
This is before.
This is your past. This is what you were
Okay.
before the apocalypse.
I'd like to thank you because this is exactly what I was thinking.
Oh, good.
Like sometimes the cards are the cards, right? Oh my gosh.
All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and give you your traumas, which will also be hidden. So we'll
Oh,
deal.
Jesus.
We'll deal one trauma to Nathan. I'm going to deal another one to DZ. And, whoops, that's not what I meant to do. One, two, Robert. Okay. So take a peek at those. You can see what your trauma is, and you can see what you'll get if you can reveal it. Now, don't reveal it, either of these things, until there's a benefit, right? Until you can take advantage of the benefit. I underestimated how cool these mechanics are until I actually played it, and then they became huge moments each time. So get yourself familiar with it. The other thing that I learned is it's easy to forget the bonuses that you get by choosing prison, and then the 2 advantages bonuses. So just kind of keep those in the back of your head as we're playing. Last but not least, you're going to get 2 present cards. You're going to pick one and then just discard the other one, which means just drag it to the play mat and then delete it. So let's start off with dealing 2. But you'll pick 1, Nathan. There's your 2. And these will be revealed. So the other one you'll drag to your play mat, right in the present section. DZ, there's your 2.
If your trauma doesn't say specifically how to reveal it, do you just reveal it whenever?
There should be some bonus
Narrative.
associated
There's
with
a
the
bonus
trauma.
while it is revealed.
Right. So you decide when to reveal it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. And then I'm going to deal 2 to Robert. So I'll give you guys a second to kind of look this over. And then You tell me who's ready to reveal.
I am ready for you.
All right, Nathan. First off, let's deal out for me the one you discarded.
Oh, I discarded that one already. That was
Okay, great.
guarded.
Then deal out for me your current one. Put it onto
Okay.
your card. Well, ooh, what is it?
That is Butcher. When someone needs a cleaving, I'm your man.
Oh, very nice. So you are the butcher of the boy. It has double, triple meanings here in the prison now, doesn't it? All right, who's next?
I can.
All right, DZ, let's go up to you.
I'm the cook.
We
Clear
got
stress.
ourselves a kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get +1 survival and clear 1 stress when I make someone comfortable with good food.
Very nice. All right, last but not least, Robert, who the hell are you?
I'm trying to make these work here. Fudge.
And keep in mind, Robert, when you're looking at your past, it can be diametrically different to what you're doing tonight because nobody
I
knows
know.
your past, right?
Yeah, I both of these are kind of good. All right, so I'm gonna discard this one. You want me to say what I'm discarding?
Nope. Let's just see what you play to the mat with the one you're keeping.
There you go. Oh, play to the mat what I'm keeping.
Yep. So just drag it.
I
There
want
we
to
go.
keep that one, and I'll delete this one.
All right. So what does archivist mean?
Oh no! I want healing. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I thought I took off the one that I
That's all right.
delete.
So let me help you out here. So we're getting rid. Oh, we're going healer. All right.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. So we've got a healer, we've got a butcher, and we've got a cook. So now what I need each of you to do is you have 4 stats. You have savagery. That's your ability to do violence. You have got soul. Soul is your capacity for human connection. You've got steel, which is your capacity to keep calm and in control. You have survival, your capacity to survive in any case. Now, as you do your moves, they're going to call to one of these 4 stats. The number you choose is the number of cards you flip. Each of you get 1 at 3, 1 at 1, and 2 at 2. So I'm going to give you a chance to fill those in. And then when someone has got them all filled in, you let me know and we'll go take a look at it.
So that +1 savagery on the present card, that doesn't go onto this part.
It does. So what you'll do is you'll say, okay, if you choose 3 for your savagery, your present then makes that a 4.
Gotcha. I'm gonna have to move these a little bit after I write them because they're not wanting to be in the spots. But
welcome to Roll20, baby.
Okay.
Roll20 does what it does, but it never does it exactly the way you wished it did it.
Right.
DZ, you ready?
Oh yeah.
All right. What'd you end up with?
I was already going to put 3 in survival, so with cook, I now have 4 survival. That leaves me with 2 in steel, 2 in soul, and 1 in savagery.
Excellent. All right. Looks like Nathan, you're done.
Yeah, I'm all ready for you.
All right.
I went with 2 in savagery, but Butcher brought that up to a 3. I bought 3 in soul. Man, I just care. I got 1 in steel because I don't hold my wits for nothing, and I'm a pretty good survivor, so I got 2 in that.
All right. Last but not least, Robert, where did you end up?
2, 2, 2, 3.
Well, so what you got a bonus for +1 in
Healer.
soul?
Yeah.
Got it.
So I put the 1 in there, made it a 2, and then 2 savagery, 2 steel, and 3 survival.
All right.
So there's 3 different strategies for how to use your +1.
Yeah, very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. So now let's talk about how you relate to each other. So I'm going to deal a relationship card between each of you. And this is how your 2 characters relate with each other. So I'm going to start off with Nathan and Robert. So let me find my relationships. Nathan and Robert, your relationship is the 2 of you agree on a 3rd member of the Enclave should be in charge. who and why. So you both agree on the same person being in charge of this enclave. As we play, we're going to learn who and we're going to learn why. And the why can be two different things. But this is something that the two of you bond on, is we know that X should be in charge of this enclave.
And I'm sorry, that's with who?
That is
That's with me.
between Nathan and Robert. So you should see it. I played the card right between your cards. So if you scroll over, Robert, you should be able to see it physically between the two of you.
Okay.
All right. So now between DZ and Nathan. All right. I've just played it. The two of you have a plan to escape the enclave if things get bad. Why and what's the plan? Again, we don't need to define it now. We just know that the two of you have got a plan to escape if things go sideways, and you know what it is and why you want it. All right. Last but not least, DZ and Robert. The two of you protected each other from a dangerous member of the enclave. Who and what happened to them? And again, we don't need to decide that now, but that's something that the two of you have in common. That's part of your relationship. And as we play, the two of you get to define what that is. Now, last but not least, each of you are going to get an ally. Now, this is somebody in the enclave who is very closely connected to you. They're an NPC. I'll control them, but there's mechanics if you want your NPC to do something. Think of this as the person who they consider you their ride or die, right? You are the person that they look up to, that they connect with closely. You can decide specifics on that. I think I'm going to start off with Nathan's. So Nathan, your ally is Hal Runyon, a security guard.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. So let me put this in my notes so I can keep track of it. Hal Runyon.
Hal looks like a simple dude, my kind of fella.
And he has got a flashlight and a stun gun. That's handy. And his skills are investigation, survival, and violence.
All right.
So start thinking about your relationship with him,
Mhm.
right? Like I said, I'll control him, but you're going to help define him.
I got it.
All right. So Robert, I would like for you to meet Virginia Kempf. Can you tell me about her? The card is right next to your sheet now.
Yep. Let's see here. What are her skills?
Well, how did she end up here?
Oh, well, she's a burglar, right? All right. So yeah. So basically, this prison didn't discriminate. So there was a women's wing and a men's wing. And women actually left with the guards, but she's decided to stay back. During the whole process of the evacuation, and I don't know if he wants to go with this, but this might be the person that we actually saved. We could just say some of the guards weren't very savory, and we protected her, or I did on my own. One of the two, it doesn't matter. So
Yeah,
she decided to stay.
And some of that canon you can keep in your head, Robert, right? So we can define that as we play, but this is a fellow prisoner. She was a burglar. Her skills are bartering, scavenging, and stealth, and her equipment is crowbar and lockpicks, which could be very, very handy.
Actually, can I change that?
You define who she is, my friend.
She is one of the members of the family that came.
Great.
Oh,
I like that.
So the family that came, we originally defined as a two dads, a kid, and two kids younger.
yeah.
Do we
Can
want to
age one
have
up to like 14?
Well, we can make her one of the older children. We can also
Yeah.
make her like a sister-in-law of one of the others, right? She
Oh,
could be.
I thought you were
she could
saying
be
that they
Aunt
were there
Virginia.
visiting her.
No.
Oh,
She came over with
oh,
them.
okay.
She was part of that group that came over.
You want to make her like a sister to one of the husbands, one of the fathers?
I like that.
Yeah. And maybe they don't know about her past or what
Right.
she was really doing. Maybe she spent
Mhm.
her life trying to stay out of Ripper prison and ended up here.
Right. And the thing is, she was one of my crew.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Or if you want, when the apocalypse happens, she was visiting you during visitor hours.
Yeah, let's do that. That makes more sense. That way I
Yeah.
don't step on his toes.
I-
Yeah, let's do
That
that.
was a fine place for them to be. They can still be related. That's, I think, kind of cool.
Let's play it out. We'll do what makes
Okay.
sense here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, DZ. I need you to tell me about Layla Rivas.
Dentist. Layla Rivas, the dentist. Skills bartering, empathy, and medicine, and she has a drill. This was my wife.
Oh, was she there during visiting hours as well? Or did she
I
make
was
her way
not-
out knowing you'd be here?
I was not locked up here when Z-Day hit.
Perfect. All right. We now have our relationships. We have our allies. The last thing I need to know are names. So go ahead and put your names on your playmat and share them when they're ready. And we just need first names. Who's got one?
I
I'm
got
Seth.
Zach.
All right. So Robert is Zach.
Yeah.
All right. I've got Zach. Nathan, who are you?
I got Sammy.
It's good old Sammy. Everybody loves Sammy. DZ.
I had an S name. I'm going to change it. Travis.
Travis, Sammy, and Zach. You guys ready to start playing?
Yeah.
Travis.
Maybe Trav.
Trav? All right. So
Yeah.
Trav, Zach, and Sammy. It is late afternoon. The three of you, you're at a picnic table out in the yard. We've got some people just kind of wandering around. Some people, I think, are trying to do their best to maybe get a garden going. Of course, we've got some people that still work the weights. Got a couple people maybe playing basketball, and the three of you are at this picnic table late afternoon. My question for the three of you is this a regular thing? Do you guys just kind of meet at this table all the time? Is there a reason you guys came to the table? Or you just randomly happen to be at the same table? Give me an idea of why, when this episode 1 starts, we see the three of you sitting at this picnic table in the yard.
I think maybe for me and Sammy, I think we regularly meet and discuss who we think should be in charge. We're still bouncing a couple names around, but yeah, we normally meet here to discuss that.
I
So-
think we're pretty sure we should pick who is going to be in charge, though. Either way, like we're
Right.
pretty sure we know best. It's just a matter
Right.
of who we're going to install.
So I guess my question for you, Zach, is you've had an idea you've been thinking about, and you said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and bring this. I'm going to go ahead and bring this up to Sammy. So let's start there. Let's start with you telling Sammy who your latest idea is as Kingmaker. Who do you think needs to be in charge?
So obviously we need a puppet. And to be honest, I think we could make your man there a security guard, that guy. And I think the way we could do that is I've been talking to Virginia, and maybe we could let the Ripper out. She has some tools, and then with some assistance, he could capture the Ripper and put him back in, and that would give him huge cred.
Oh, it's genius. You know, we could even let him like eat one or two, really build
Oh,
up
yeah.
the fear, and then Hal catches him. Yeah, he's a hero, and everyone's got to listen to him at that point. I like the way you think.
Is there anybody here you want them to eat? Because what we could do is, if we can get them alone, knock them out, and just say, "Here you go, Ripper. I'll tell you what. Oh, this would be even better. We could set up people for him to eat, with the knowledge that we'll put him back right, but we'll continue to feed him."
You know, I don't have a person in mind, but you know who we should talk to. We want to knock this person out. Got to talk to that dentist. They're gonna know how to use the drugs, knock them out real good. I mean, I could do a chokehold or something, just a little bit of that. But
All right. So you're saying we need to bring Travis into this to see if his woman there has what we need. Well, we got the infirmary. Maybe she can get some stuff out of the infirmary that'll work. That's a good idea. Yeah,
and Trav will be good for it too. And we don't want Trav's the one that'll figure it out if we mess it up. So we need Trav in.
Yeah, we always need a scapegoat.
Yeah.
I happen to be bringing some sandwiches over to them at this point.
Oh, it's sandwich time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thanks again for
buddy.
that catch the other day.
Why don't you
It
sit
smells
down
real
with
nice.
us?
Yeah. I think it's like that full on like overbearing arm around the shoulder. Come join our
I
conversation.
mean, I did have a couple. I wasn't done. I mean, if it's just a minute, fine, sure. Yeah. What's up?
Yeah.
So, Sammy and I have been having a conversation, you know. Big Jim is kind of an asshole. He's kind of running things right now. And I mean, after what he did to you, I think you would want to be in for this. But I think we want to remove him, and we came up with an idea. And you might have to talk to your woman there, but what we're thinking is I could get Virginia to unlock the Ripper, but we'll make the Ripper a deal, right? We're gonna set up a couple people for him to eat, right? So everybody's like all freaking out, and one of them might be Big Jim if we could work that out. But then
I don't want to hear any of this.
Oh, no.
I don't want to hear a goddamn word.
Trav, listen.
But Travis, listen.
Maybe he does it
Sammy,
again.
I'm trying to get away, but I'm very like.
Oh, you're so tense. Let me see those shoulders.
you know, we're gonna
You
have
got some knots there. You stressed, buddy?
Sammy's guard there, security guard, be the one to capture him and put him back, so he gets cred, and we'll install him, and he'll basically just be a puppet for us. So we'll have all the good stuff here. You know, we'll get the best jobs.
This is all to the end of removing Jim.
Oh, and
I mean,
making sure we have
Jim-
someone that we can trust.
Jim
over
sucks. Don't get me wrong. Jim sucks, and I don't want anything to do with him. But what you're proposing sounds 100 times worse than anything that he's done.
But why? They're in here for life anyway. I mean, we pick a couple lifers that done some bad stuff. I mean, we're pretty much carrying out the sentence that the state set up for them.
Here's the thing: the state left these guards here to take care of us, and now we bring you into our circle of trust. You wouldn't want to betray our trust, would you, Trav? That hurts me.
Listen,
My sandwich
know-
is just like getting squished in my hands.
Hey, you know what? I hate to pull this card on you, but remember when Big Jim and his boys cornered your woman, and I was around the corner and you said, "Hey, help," and I came around and we saved her? You remember that?
Yes,
And
and I
you-
also
and you-
remember somebody disposing of the mess that was made from that incident. And my hands are totally clean from that.
Look, maybe
I may
so.
have-
Would you feel better about if we didn't feed anyone to the Ripper?
That I
Or at
would say
least
that's high
maybe
on my
just
list of
one
complaints with the
person?
plan. Yeah.
Okay. Because I think we have some flexibility there. We don't have to feed him a
The
whole
Ripper,
body.
isn't he like 70 years old at this point?
He's very hungry.
Yeah, but he's like
been locked up for 30
Sylvester-
years.
Yeah, but he's like Sylvester Stallone 70. He's on the, they
I
let him
haven't
out.
gone to see him. Has he
Yeah,
been
no.
like doing pull-ups the entire time that he's been in
It's
here?
basically De Niro in Cape Fear.
Cape Fear. So after we've kind of set this scene, I'm mechanically, here's what's happened is I, on the sly, have pulled a time passes card, which is used to start things off. So it gives me an inciting incident, but it's also used if we're in situations where we've kind of resolved things and time will pass, something else bad is going to happen because it's the zombie apocalypse. So as the three of you are coming up with this really totally non-sociopathic plan, I think Zach notices the fire. So Zach, as you were talking about, we could get the drugs and, maybe your dentist friend could help us here and things like that. You look over, you look at the third floor of the prison and you see fire, smoke and flames coming out of one of the windows. And you immediately know, I'm not going to tell you what you're going to do. You immediately know that's the infirmary. The infirmary, one of your advantages is on fire.
Oh, shit. Oh, come on, guys. Look, the freaking infirmary's on fire. What the hell?
God
Oh shit!
damn it.
I'll start running.
Shit, Layla's up there. I'm booking it.
Sammy?
Sammy's wandering slowly.
But head in that general direction.
Yeah, I head in that direction. Sammy doesn't run very well.
So, Zach and Trav, you guys get into the main building, immediately get to the stairwell, and start running up to get to the third floor where that infirmary is. Anything we want to do in preparation, or are we just going to get there and figure out what the hell's going on?
As I'm running along, I'll be looking to see if there's like any fire extinguishers that we pass. Grab one if we can. But yeah, just eating feet.
How about we have you assess a bad situation? Yeah, so one of the moves that you can do is assess a bad situation. When you assess a bad situation, draw steal. On a triumph, you get to ask 2 questions. On an edge, you ask 1, and when you act on the answer, draw +1. So, what is your steal?
2.
2. Go ahead and draw 2 for me.
2.
What is the
Which cards?
So in the far right corner, you're going to see the decks. You're going to go up to Survivor.
Survivor, okay.
And here, let me do this. Let me just quickly shuffle them back up for you. All right, go ahead and grab a Survivor.
Okay.
And you're going to grab 2 of them. So you're going to draw 2. What is your best of them? You got a triumph.
I got an edge and a triumph.
All right, so we're going to use that triumph. On a triumph, you could ask 2. So if you go to the basic moves, your choices are, what here is the biggest threat to me or the Enclave? What here is the most useful to me, my allies, or the Enclave? What's my best escape route, way in or way past? And who here is most vulnerable to me, my allies, or the dead? You get to choose 2 of these, and I need to answer them.
All right, so one of them is going to be what here is going to be the most useful to me.
Okay.
And then the other one is going to be what's my best route to get up there?
The way in?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's rewind a little bit before the stairwell. As you're heading in, this is creating quite a stir, Zach. There's a lot of activity. People are pointing and going on and on. You see a crowd of people that you know are only going to get in the way, like barging into the main stairwell. And if you're going to be of any use or take any advantage to this chaos, being lost in that crowd is a bad idea. You might just get shivved while the chaos is happening. You realize, hey, if we go around the back, we can use the employee stairwell and get up there, and I bet nobody's going to go that route. They're going to take the shortest route. You're thinking, I can take the longest route. I can probably get there at the same amount of time, and it'll be just me, Sammy, and Trav that'll be there as opposed to the rest of the crowd. So that's your answer on your best way in. What is most useful to me? If you're willing to take that route, you are going to find an unmolested fire extinguisher.
So as we're running, Travis, we're not going that way. I know there's that side door over there. That's the employees. Yeah, we don't want to go into that shit right there.
Yeah.
So I look for Sammy. I turn around and I see him just kind of taking his time, and I point to the other door.
I give a thumbs up and start heading that way. But I'm keeping an eye out for Big Jim.
You're trying to see if you can figure out where Big Jim is?
Yeah.
Right now, there's too much chaos, Sammy. So you're trying to get he wasn't out there. You're not seeing him in the crowd. He must be inside. He must be inside somewhere. Not real clear where that might be. All right, so you guys get to the back side entrance. Zach, you throw open the door. You get to the second level at 1.5, right before you get to floor 2, and you see the break glass in case of emergency, and nobody's freaking touched it because nobody uses this stairwell.
Yeah, so I'll just run over there with my my elbow, just smash it out and grab it.
I'm bolting straight up the stairs.
All right, so 3 of you are headed up the stairs.
Yeah.
So you get up to the 3rd floor landing, and surprisingly, there's someone standing at the closed door into the main hallway. And it's freaking Keaton Franks. It's not real clear whether she was here from the start, whether she showed up later. Nobody was quite sure where Keaton came from. She is a powerful woman, physically powerful woman. She is tall. She's about 6'1". She might weigh 350, but she's got the 350 in the places you don't want them to be, the places that are going to hurt you. And she immediately became useful here at the Enclave because she has a strong mechanic background. She's the one that fixed the boat. So they left a boat here at the front dock when they took off, thinking, we're not going to bother with that thing. That thing hasn't worked in years. She's the one that got the boat working. She's the one that's allowed people to go back to mainland to do supply runs. She's standing there, and she's got a big wrench, and she's leaned up against the wall.
Just casually,
just leaning up against the wall like nothing's on fire.
What are you doing?
Oh, sweetie, just making sure that what needs to get done is getting done.
What the? I'm gonna ask an NPC for help.
Oh, okay.
Get this door open.
So this is not your ally, but you've got to move for ask an NPC. So what? Read off to what that move does.
Basic move. This keeps jumping around on me. When you ask a friendly or neutral NPC for help, draw soul. On a triumph, they do it if you give them a bribe or a motive, and on an edge, GM will tell you what they want in exchange.
All right, let's do it. So what do you have in soul?
2.
Great. Let's draw 2. What's the best of the 2? I got a miss and an edge. All right. So what does the edge give you?
They want something in exchange.
Honey, there's things going on here that you just don't understand. So no, you're not coming through here. Unless, you know, you can make it worth my while.
I'm going to turn the violence.
Hold on, let's let Trav finish his piece.
What do you want? We can negotiate stuff later, but there could be
Hey,
people in there. There's stuff in there that we need.
I think we should just talk about it. The longer it takes to talk about it, the better, the happier I am. So, what do you got, sweetie? What have you got to give me? I can move out of the way of this door.
I'm
You
looking.
can go run.
I am now looking to Sam and.
All right. So I'm gonna turn the violence. I'm gonna spray her in the face with the fire extinguisher, and then as that puts her off balance, I'm gonna bash her in the head with it.
So let's talk about that move. This is the first time we've seen turn to violence, Zach. So tell me what that move does.
So this is gonna be against the uninfected draw savagery. On
I'm hearing double.
Huh?
Is it just me? I'm hearing double.
Yeah, you are. It's just you.
Okay.
There's a bit of an echo with Robert's mic, but you shouldn't be hearing double.
Okay.
When you turn to violence against the unaffected, draw savagery. On a hit, trade harm and choose options. On a triumph, choose one. On an edge, choose two.
All right. So what do you have in savagery?
I have 2 in savagery. So I'm going to draw 2 survivor cards.
Yep. So you go to survivor and go ahead and draw 2 and tell me what's the best of the 2 in your hand.
They're both misses.
Now, is this something where I can give an assist for stress, or is that definitely in this case?
Yeah, you can definitely give it. So for 1 stress, you can then draw another card for savagery if you're going to be helping. The reason you're only drawing 1 card is Zach has only revealed 1 of his cards, and that is his present. And had he already revealed his trauma or his past, you would be drawing more cards because you know him better.
Okay.
So you want to go ahead and help him out and take a stress?
Yeah.
Can I reveal my trauma at any time?
You can, but let's hold off and see if Sammy's successful first.
All right.
What'd you draw there, Sammy?
Let's see.
For your 1 card.
That's a miss.
Survivor. All right. Zach, did you want to reveal your trauma?
No, not yet.
All right. Tell me what happens on a miss with violence.
So I spray, hit her in the face, and then when I move in to hit her, I slip on the retardant that got sprayed out.
All right. So mechanically speaking, all right. On a hit, trade harm and choose options. On a triumph, choose 3. On an edge, choose 2. I need you to go ahead and take a stress. So, Zach, you went in there fully confident. You spray the thing. She covers her eyes just in time, and the cloud affects everybody. This is a small stairwell, and the next thing you feel is your feet getting taken out from under you, and you are flat on your ass. Zach, sweetie, how many times do we have to do this? I'm always going to end up with me on top of you.
That wasn't such a bad thing last time.
No, Jesus.
Trav, I'm not going to let this affect our negotiations, sweetie. What you got for me? Ooh, you smell that smoke? I think things are really raging over there at the infirmary.
I don't know what bargaining position or what position you're coming from. I don't know anything about what you want.
Sweetie, I want this I want the infirmary to burn. And I want everybody that's inside that infirmary to burn. That's what I want. What I need to know is, what have you got to make me want it more? What do I want more?
I have unfettered access to the kitchen. That's what I have.
Oh. So maybe the next time some fresh meat.
Yeah, great. Whatever. Let's get the door open. My wife might be in there.
Okay. Super assholey. She's taking her sweet time, kind of moves to the side and goes, "Go ahead, hon." Throws the door open for you.
It's just not locked. Okay. What's the situation in the room?
So you get into the hallway. You can hear the crowd fighting to get up there. They're not on this 3rd floor yet. They're working up that other stairwell around.
Why is everyone running towards the fire?
There's a lot of important shit in that infirmary, including medicine and stuff, right? So you break out of the hallway, you can see the smoke coming out of the door of that infirmary, and you can see somebody on the floor right outside the front door.
Okay,
They're face down, they're not moving.
Provided I can get there safely, I'm going straight to them.
Okay.
I'll
Zach and
look in the
Sammy.
room.
What are Zach and Sammy doing?
I'm
What's-
right behind him.
I'm looking for the
and-
fire. What's the fire situation?
Yeah, looking in the room.
All right, so you're heading the same way, right? You're heading down the hallway.
Yeah.
All right, Trav, you get there first, and as best as you can tell, it's Leo. She's kind of a drifter that showed up maybe a week and a half ago. She's face down. She's laying there. You can hear. So she's still breathing, but she's got some really, like, the whole back of her shirt has been burned off, and you can see like 3rd-degree burns. Her skin is peeling off of her back. She is not in good shape.
She's got a heavy coat in her equipment. I'm going to try to rip that off of her if that's like got embers on it.
She actually has that in her knapsack. So you can see her backpack right next to her. She's not wearing it. She just has a white undershirt, t-shirt on, and that's all burnt away.
Yeah, I might grab the heavy coat then if I can like throw that over something.
Sure.
If I can hear that she's coughing and stuff, I'm just gonna be like, Zach, can you look at her and look into the room to see if there's anybody else?
I'm looking into the room. What does the fire look like?
So this door was to a hall from the stairs to a hallway. We went down the hallway. There's Leo laying on the ground in front of the infirmary.
Right,
room.
the infirmary door from the hallway, exactly. And for all three of you, it is just black smoke billowing out of this. So as you come up to that, it is just smoke pouring out of this open door. We've got Leo on her face, burnt terribly on her back.
I'm going to try to avert disaster.
Ooh, talk to me about avert disaster.
When you try to avert disaster, say what you're trying to prevent and draw survival. On a triumph, you manage it. On an edge, you pull through, but it'll cost you. And that'll look like an ugly choice or a Pyrrhic victory.
Let's do it.
So what I'm trying to prevent is this room being completely destroyed. I'll describe. So I've got an opportunity, a miss, and an edge. I'll take stress to upgrade the opportunity.
So on the edge you can take for free. I'm just going to explain this to everybody watching. Yeah. There's an opportunity card that's in the survival deck. The opportunity card is by default a miss. Unless the survivor takes a stress, they can turn that opportunity into a triumph. And that's exactly what Trav has decided to do, is to turn that into a triumph. So when you avert disaster on a triumph, you manage it. So Trav, this is smoke's coming out. You can hear people inside. What do you do to avert disaster to save these people?
I'm going to grab that coat from Leo and like put it over myself to go into the room, keep low, as if I can get below the black smoke and see at least like, feet or where things are. And then I see that like across the room from the door are like a set of windows, and I'm just gonna run to those and just start smashing all of them to let in air, let out smoke, and I'm yelling for people that the door is unblocked if they can make their way in that direction.
So you break those windows, and it does two things. One, it does exactly what you wanted it to do. Is for a split second we see the smoke evacuate, and the people that are like coughing, there's like 4 or 5 people in this infirmary. One of them is your wife, and as soon as that smoke clears, they can finally kind of like stand up, and they're kind of confused, and you yell maybe, get out. You can point, and now you can point, and they can actually see their way out of here. The problem is that when those windows opened, all of that smoke went out and a shitload of oxygen came in. So the fire that's going on in the far back has now almost created a backdraft. Not enough to hurt you. You're able to get everybody out. But now this fire is not just going to be isolated to the infirmary. It's gotten considerably worse, but you have averted disaster.
Didn't you learn about fire in school, oxygen and fuel? I'm gonna go in there with a fire extinguisher and try to put it out. I'm gonna do
That's what that's
disaster. Avert disaster to actually save the infirmary, and it's trying to burn down another spot.
All right, so let's do another draw survival.
All right.
How much do you have in
help?
survival?
I have 3.
Actually, I can choose to help after that.
Yeah.
All right.
Draw 3 and tell me the best one.
All right, miss, edge, and edge.
So edge is your best. Trav, do you want to spend a stress to draw? In this case, it'd be just one card because I think Zach only has shown one.
Yeah. No, there's too many misses in the deck, and Edge should still do it.
All right, so on an edge, you pull through, but it will cost you. Zach, you're coming in loaded for that beautiful, beautiful unused fire extinguisher that you found. You come in like, when's the last time you used a fire extinguisher, Zach?
5 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Not to hit somebody.
5 seconds ago. Other than that, it's probably been years.
So you start attacking it, and you know well enough to hit low, right? Hitting the flames or the visibles, you got to go to the center, the whitest, the brightest. And
Yes, I remember my classes, unlike some people.
The people are out. That's what I wanted.
you expend, and you are able to control, then douse that fire. Just when you're about to feel pretty damn good about yourself, part of the ceiling that melted collapses. So I need you to take 2 stress.
Okay.
You are now caught under this piece of ceiling.
What the hell are you all doing in there? I come
Get in
with,
here.
with Layla on my back already, like getting ready to carry
What?
her out.
Oh,
What?
She-
Oh,
she-
Jesus. Put her down.
yeah.
Start trying to
She
dig
can
it
walk.
out.
Help me with this.
Yeah.
So you guys lift up that piece of ceiling, and Zach, you're pretty bruised up.
Mostly.
But you guys are able to Zach, you're able to get yourself free.
Can I do healer on myself? Treat my own wounds, bumps, bruises.
Sure, let's read it off. What's healer do?
Clear one's stress when you provide aid or succor to someone in pain.
Yeah, I'm good with you doing it for yourself.
And we have the infirmary.
Yeah. Or do we?
You do.
Yeah, no,
It's
we
been
do.
saved.
And we leave everyone in
Okay.
basic checkups, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's just looking for other people. Okay.
I mean, we can use
Alrighty.
the tools here to give you the checkup.
It's true.
Oh, but it just gives you an extra against suffering harm.
Right.
So
Right.
healing
Yeah,
yourself.
this
Alright,
isn't
so
this
I'm
isn't
gonna-
bad. This is just some stress.
Right, so I'm going to do 2 soul cards, correct? Or does it just happen?
Tell me what it says.
It says clear one stress when you provide aid or succor to someone in pain.
Do it. Clear 1 stress.
Okay.
So you start to attend to just this huge scrape that's down the left side of your left leg.
So while this is going on, I'm leaning over to Travis. I'm like, I think Keaton needs to be lunch tomorrow, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, she's on my list.
Yeah, I'm coming around to the idea.
In fact, where is she? And I grab something heavy and go looking for her.
You turn around the corner, and she's standing right there. She's standing right there with a huge lug wrench. And she sees you come around, Sammy, and she goes, "Leave it up to you digbats to fuck it all up.
Lady, I don't know why you think that this was a good idea, but I'm afraid you're gonna have to learn that it wasn't. And I'm turned to violence.
Oh, wait a second.
Oh, take it easy.
She puts her hand up to you and she goes, "Hold on a second, Sammy. I didn't realize you were a big Jim fan. I thought you would have no issue with what we're doing. But if you're a big Jim fan, then yeah, then you and I are gonna have to talk."
What are you talking about?
I swear to God, if we gave you a head start, you'd still lose the race. The whole bunch of us have been trying to make everybody realize that Big Jim can't do shit. And if we let that infirmary burn and made it clear that Big Jim couldn't stop it, then it was going to be real clear to everybody that Big Jim should not be running this show. I know it. Everybody else on my crew knows it. And now I got you three shitheads making Big Jim look good.
That's the dumbest idea. I swear, I try to throw her down the steps.
No. It's the second dumbest idea of getting rid of Big Jim that I've heard today.
Look,
No. Yeah, you're messing up our plans.
I'm revealing a trauma here. I'm vindictive.
Oh, what does that do?
+1 savagery. When revealed, I clear a stress as I hound or punish someone for their mistakes.
So we're gonna choose violence.
And we're choosing violence. I'm throwing her down these steps.
Oh my goodness! All right, let's go. First, I gotta recall all our survivor. Hold on. I gotta shuffle them up. Okay, so we are turning to violence on this poor woman who is trying to do your job for you. So you're gonna draw savagery.
Yep.
I want to reveal my trauma.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
I'm gonna get in line.
I think I read it wrong though, but I'm gonna go ahead and reveal it.
Well, read it right first before you do anything.
No. I mean, when I picked it,
Oh,
I think I read it wrong when I picked it. So, but that's okay. I'm still gonna play it. And then I flip it. Oh, there it is. Flip card. All right. So I am cruel. Clear stress when you inflict serious harm on a PC, which that's why I messed up. I overlooked that. That only works if I hurt one of these guys, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's fine.
So are we doing that to Sammy?
No, I'm revealing it, right? Yeah, I'm. Ooh, what do I want to do here? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna hit Sammy.
All right, so let's do order of operations here. First, we got to see what Sammy does to our poor mechanic. So, Sammy, you're going to turn to violence. So you're going to draw savagery.
So I would say I think he's got the drop on me enough that if he wanted to hit me before I could hit her, he probably can.
Nah, I think Zach is really trying to keep himself under control. I think it's really definitely going to be you. So here's what I want to happen, Sammy. I want you to draw your cards into your hand.
Okay.
Hold them there. We're going to take a 10-minute break. When we get back from this break, we're going to find out how much violence Sammy inflicts on our poor mechanic. We'll be back in 10 minutes.
Awesome.
Right, one of them won't go back in my hand.
and way out of reach.
All right, we are back. Woo! We got a whole lot going on. So we've got Sammy going after Keaton. Sammy, can you tell me, like, inner dialogue, why are you doing this to Keaton?
Okay, so Sammy can't believe someone else would make a move on Big Jim without getting him involved. He's got an ego the size of his the size of his gigantic biceps, and he is not happy about not being included, but he's playing it off like this was a bad idea because he's really pissed off he didn't think of it first.
So you are choosing to turn to violence against Keaton. You've already drawn your cards. How many cards did you draw?
I drew 4 because I got an extra one from that vindictive.
Dang. All right. What was your best card?
All right, so we have a miss, an edge, and a triumph.
All right, on a triumph, you get to choose 3. You can inflict terrible harm, suffer little harm, resist marking stress, or avoid collateral damage. What are your 3?
Okay, so I think we're going to avoid collateral harm. We're going to take little harm, and we're going to inflict terrible harm.
She's at the top of the staircase. You grab her. She goes, "You don't want to do this."
I lean in really close. I whisper to her, "I really don't. But I've got to make an example of you." And just...
So you don't push her down the stairs. You push her over the railing.
Yeah.
And you're catching the space between the stairs. So she falls a full 3 stories. As she realizes it, she's falling back. Her feet are now in your face as now the weight has shifted to pull her down. As she goes, you see her grab what must be a stolen CB communicator that the guards use. And she goes, "Big Jim's here, let it go." As she falls down. And you hear her body crunch. You do not, in turn, exchange harm because you chose that as one of your options and there's no damage to anything. She falls down and you hear the and you look down and see her twisted body at the bottom of the stairwell. I'm going to cut to Zach. Zach, you get up, kind of dust yourself off, and Trav is there.
I'm
helping
fire
dust you off.
extinguisher, and I'm doing like the parent spanking the child. Fire needs air, makes bigger.
So Zach is going to turn to violence on Trav for breaking the windows and causing the fire to explode. What is your savagery?
2 full savagery.
All right, draw 2 cards. Tell me the best one.
So to be clear, you are not trying to kill me. You're just beating on me a little bit.
Did that one come out? It was a miss. 2 misses.
If you float over the survivor deck, you should be able to deal yourself cards. Do you see that?
Okay, I see draw. Yeah.
There you
Got
go.
it. All right.
And I see 2 that pop
Yeah,
up.
I
over your
see 2
character sheet.
misses.
Yeah, they
already.
both missed.
All right,
Yes,
so
I
walk
did.
me through it.
I guess I just can't hit anybody. I go to do that, but it just, because of my arm, I'm just like barely like touching them. It's not like doing damage to them. It's more like, it's just kind of rocking them a little bit.
So during that ruckus, Trav, you kind of roll into the hallway. We've still got poor Leo on her stomach there with those 3-degree burns. She's going, she's kind of like moaning. She's still alive. You see Sammy at
Big
the
old
door-
grin on his
at
face.
the door of the stairwell, kind of dusting his hands off. His business is done. And Trav, you hear chink, chink, and you head flips to farther down the hallway. You see 2 of Keaton's lackeys. These 2 thin guys. They look like twins, but they're probably not related. They're just inbred from the same county. and they're cutting chains on two sets of doors across from each other. You see them take bolt cutters and cut one and cut the other and kick. They both kick the doors open and they head down farther down the hallway.
I'm gonna reveal my past.
Okay.
Let me find it. How do I flip it?
Once you deal it down, you can
flip
right
card.
click. Yep. What is your
Okay.
past?
I am a politician.
Whoa!
To reveal this card, describe to a group how you are best suited to help fulfill their needs. Okay, everybody on this floor, stop. We all want the same thing. We need to work together to try to accomplish it and not be scheming behind each other's backs.
So the crowd has finally worked their way up, and they're kind of on the far side of Sammy. So there's you and Zach, there's Sammy, and then farther down, this mob has come up. At the front of it is
I'm preaching to the mob at this point, but go ahead.
Yeah, Big Jim is there, and Big Jim, you see him work his way up to the front of the crowd. He goes, "Better listen to him. He knows what he's talking about. Everybody needs to calm the hell down."
We were first on scene. I will tell you what happened. Keaton started a fire in the infirmary and then stopped us from trying to get in to help. Thankfully, Zach was able to put out the fire while Sam was able to subdue Keaton. So we have handled that situation. No thanks to Big Jim here, who was, where were you right now?
Hey, now, I'm glad things worked out. I think that's good, and I've been meaning to promote you, Trav. I think you're very useful here at the Ripper Enclave. I think this is, oh shit. And you realize that the whole mob, Trav, is looking beyond you. The two chains that were unlocked, the two doors that were flipped open by the two lackeys. You now see dead pouring out of both of those rooms.
So I grab the girl that's on the ground, burned, pull her into the infirmary, close the door,
There's no way out from there.
and barricade it, and then I'll treat her.
Okay, so question, Zach, is one: did Trav and Sammy try to get in on your business, and if they do you let them?
Yes, I'm moving, I'm dragging her in. If they don't catch the intent, that's on them.
Put myself in a room with no exit except a 4-story drop. No thanks.
Sammy?
Sammy's trying to run over and hold the doors shut.
So there's no getting to those doors.
Okay.
The dead are already out there. So
no
you're going to hit
hold it.
dead before you hit doors.
I'm going to assess a bad situation.
Good choice.
All right. So for assess a
Nobody
bad
else has
situation,
followed it.
when you assess a bad situation, draw steal. On a triumph, ask 2. On an edge, ask 1. And when you act on the answer, you draw a +1. So what do you have in steal?
2, and I'm drawing 2 cards.
All right. What's your best of the 2?
Triumph.
Oh, what 2 are you going to ask?
All right. Let's see here. Yeah, what so my thought is, by barricading myself in the room, I'm giving contents for the question. With everybody else out there, the dead would go towards them. So my first question is, what's my best escape route?
Okay.
And then the other one is going to be, what's going to be the most useful to me?
All right. So what is my best escape route? And what here is going to be most useful to me? Your best escape route. Well, let's talk about the windows. The windows of the infirmary are glass, or they were glass until Trav knocks them out. The problem is, in a prison, it ain't just glass. There's actual bars. on the other side of these windows. So your best escape route is not through those windows. You're not going to get through those. You're looking around, Zach, and you're going, Jesus, like the door is closed. We got dead coming down the hallway. There's a mob of people in there. That's no good to me. And you look behind you to where the fire was. You realize that part of the floor had burned out. So you might be able to continue the work the fire was doing to weaken and put a hole in that floor. So that's definitely your best escape route, is down through the floor. The next piece you asked for, what here is most useful to me? Probably part of that concrete that fell on your leg. If you grab that and move it over and start using that to weaken the floor, you might be able to throw it through and create a hole in the floor.
All right, I say, guys, I got a plan. Get in. And I drag the lady in, and I look to see what they're doing. If they're not coming, I'm closing the door.
If Sammy heard plan, he's following. You don't
I
like
heard
it.
plan, but it was from Zach. I am not following.
All
Trav
right,
is staying in the
so-
hallway. Sammy, do you trust that?
Sammy's gonna try to pull Trav in against his will.
It's up to Trav.
Yeah.
Go
I'll
be a
try.
hero, boy!
I do resist, but I'm extremely thin and frail.
So we see Sammy and Trav tumble into the infirmary. Zach has pulled Leo in. She is still not well. You wanted maybe to pull her in and treat her, but you realize you may not have time for that. We've got a situation outside. Trav, you're able to grab that door shut. How are you going to blockade that? How are you going to prevent people from opening it? Or are you going to try to stop people from opening it?
Talking to me?
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to stop people from opening it. If there are people out there who would like to take refuge in here before the wave hits, then I'm going to let them in.
Yeah, let me simplify the decision from you. As you're looking at the kind of the frosted glass, you see shadows coming from your left before
Okay,
you
yeah,
see
then-
anything from the right.
Okay, then
Grab the beds or something, man. Let's go.
yeah. I mean, whatever's
Sammy.
closest, like a dresser, just pushing bed.
Sammy, help them
anything.
out.
I'll shove shit underneath the door, as like a doorstop if I have to.
All right.
And then while they're doing that, I'm going to grab the concrete and start bashing where I saw.
All right. So you start bashing. So here's what I need to happen. I think it's Trav that's going to do this. Zach, you are making progress. You're going to be able to get through this. You just need a little bit more time. You're going to be able to lift that concrete up and just drop it like an anvil, just over and over again. And it's weakening the floor. They're only like 8-foot ceilings, so it's going to be easy for you to drop. I think I need Trav to flee from the dead. And this is going to determine what's going to happen. So we're going to flip over to zombie moves. So flee the dead is when you try to flee a swarm of zombies, draw survival. On a hit, you escape and choose one. On an edge, the GM chooses one as well.
Works for me.
What do you have in
Draw
survival?
from survival's 4, and I'm still
Okay.
drawing from the survivor deck. Yeah,
You're always drawing from the survivor deck. Yep.
I'm sure since there's zombie involved.
Yeah, I'll tell you if you have to
Bite.
draw a bite.
Miss.
You don't.
Edge. Miss. Opportunity.
Ooh, what is your stress situation?
I have 1. So on an edge, I choose 1 and you choose 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to spend
Bronson.
stress for the opportunity, I think, here.
You can't spend stress for his.
Well, yeah,
opportunity.
it's me. Let me just check my trauma really quickly. Okay, irrelevant. Yeah, I'll spend a stress for the triumph.
All right, so on a hit, you escape and choose one. So what are we going to choose? You can run into another danger or crisis. You can leave something or someone valuable behind, or you can draw from the bite deck or suffer serious harm, your choice.
Let's leave something behind.
So they start breaking through the that frosted glass. As soon as you see those shadows, we start seeing hands come through, and we're seeing the dead just scraping around. And just by sheer randomness, they're going to be able to get that door open, but it's going to take a second. You flee back towards Zach. Sammy, you're right there, and that's Zach with that final drop goes through. You see that piece of concrete and rebar go through the floor.
I'm like backing away from the door, so I am not watching the progress. So I like slip and like kind of tumble backwards into the hole that's been made. So I have gone through.
Zach, Sammy, what are we doing?
Yeah, I grab the girl and drag her. I said, "Here, man, take her," and I help put her down.
So you grab her and you turn and you're like, "Hey, let's go." You come back and you realize she stopped breathing. So that's going to be what you leave behind. Either you're going to bring a dead down with you, or you're going to let Leo go.
Is there any rebars that I could like grab as a weapon?
Uh-huh.
So I'll take that. I'll brain her.
Okay.
And then I'll go down the hole.
Sammy, you see Zach put a piece of rebar into Leo's head.
Should keep him busy.
Hells yeah! And I jump down afterwards.
Where do you guys land? What is right below the infirmary?
Church.
Oh, the chapel. We good with that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm also good with kitchen, but
the pews break. You guys are in the chapel. You can hear them above you.
I'm dazed. So
Oh God, I always hated church.
Slowly. Yeah, so did everybody. What happened?
I go to the door. I look out and see what's going on.
It's clear.
Is there like a baptismal or holy water cup up front?
Sure.
I'm going for that.
Okay.
Sammy's sure that will stop zombies. I don't know that it will, but he's sure it will.
Oh, buddy.
Catholic school was rough on him.
All right. I'm going to go out the door. I tell the guys that they can meet us at the boat dock.
No, we can contain this.
I'm going to run back to my cell. And,
your cell is completely on the other side of the prison, Zach.
We don't need to evacuate this island yet. This island has a lot of stuff that we need, and we have nowhere to go.
Why were the
Let's
dead
try to
here?
contain it first.
Who put dead up there?
Let's worry about those answers later.
How many people do we have here in the prison, roughly?
I'm thinking like just shy of 100. It's a good crowd.
I think we stay. I'm with you.
I'm gonna try to get to back to the stairwell, the same stairwell that. So there's two stairwells. There was the one that all the mob was coming up through, which I presume they are now going down through.
Okay.
And then there's the other stairwell.
Stairwell that you came up with, which is what we threw Keaton down.
That's the employee stairwell. I can't imagine it connects to the chapel.
I'm still heading back to my cell.
It's off the hallway.
Okay.
All right, so Zach's gonna head back to the cell.
What's the state of people going down through the stair?
You have no sense of it. Right now, you've got an empty hallway. The one thing that was yelled out was, who the hell would have put the dead up there? I'm going to remind Sammy of what happened the half second before he released Keaton. Keaton said, "Big Jim is up here. Let him go."
That's a good plan. I gotta give it to him.
Kill everybody?
Not everybody. Here, help me break up this pew. I need a club.
No, I'm going to check the hall, the stairwell.
I'm in there trying to break a pew. Just boot to it.
Okay, don't make too much noise because the dead are going to be distracted with the body up there, but only for a minute.
Okay.
So Trav, you run towards the employee stairwell.
No, the public stairwell. The one that everybody's going down through.
Okay. Gotcha. So you run that direction. You hear commotions, you hear screaming and sounds of things you don't like to hear sounds of happening up above you. And there's people starting to work their way down the stairwell as they're trying to run away from this.
The dead are now in this stairwell.
They don't sound like they're in the stairwell, but it sounds like the bulk of the crowd is confronting the dead near the third floor doorway to the stairwell.
Okay. I'm going to try to muscle through, and if hold on, looking at our revealed, I'm going to ask the biggest NPC, the strongest. Oh, maybe the security guard is like among that group. I'm going to ask them for help.
Okay, so you're thinking about asking Hal.
Yeah.
So you're saying Hal is right up there, which is that's Sammy's close bestie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Hal is working his way down. He goes, Trav, they're coming. We gotta go.
I know.
Yeah,
we need to bolt the doors because we can run, but there is nowhere to run. We have to block them in.
And
Block
burn this
them in
place to the
where?
ground.
Onto that floor at least. With the infirmary, we can clear them out later, but we need to contain them.
You want me to go back up there and try to block the door?
Just help me block the doors.
No, why don't we block the ground floor door? All we have to do is trap them in here, and then we burn it down. They're all dead.
We don't have to sacrifice this entire building.
But we can. Jim's in there.
Sammy, what do you want me to do?
Let's burn it down.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
Just listen to Trav. He's smart.
So he turns.
Just come on.
All right, he's following you. Where are we going?
I'm going up against the traffic in the stairwell to get up to the doors of the floor above us.
So you're starting to work your way up. Zach, you're about a third of the way towards your cell. It is, for lack of a better word, dead silent as you are working through these empty hallways. Sammy, you tell Trav and Hal to go. Hal, go listen to Trav. They're working their way up against Salmon Up River, right? They're working their way back up to that third floor. What are you doing, Sammy?
I am looking for. I think I want to read a situation. I think I think Sammy's feeling unmoored by all this and needs to get a read.
So you want to assess a bad situation?
Yeah, which I think I'm real bad at.
Okay. You're going to draw steel.
Yeah, that's my one card.
All right. Tell me what you get. And we've been forgetting about when you act on the answer, you did to draw +1. So we got to remember that.
Well, I got an edge.
You got an edge. You get to ask me one. You can ask me what here is the biggest threat to me or the Enclave. What here is the most useful to me, my allies, or the Enclave? What is my best escape route, way in or way past? And who here is the most vulnerable to me, my allies, or the dead?
Who's the most vulnerable to me in particular?
Who's the most vulnerable to you?
Yeah.
Because you're on this second floor, I would say the rest of the crowd, you could really foul up their ability to get the hell out of here if you wanted to. So if you wanted to be a bad person, this is a great place to do it.
I think Sammy sees himself as a hero. He doesn't like intentionally do bad things, even when he's talking about like feeding people to other people.
It's all relative, right?
Yeah. He sees himself as a hero. So I think what
just threw someone down a stairwell.
Look, she had it coming. So, but I think he also thinks those dead start biting on this crowd, and they're already dead anyways. Best thing I can do is contain.
Okay.
And so we're blocking those doors from the outside.
So blocking the second floor doors, or you're working your way downstairs? Okay. All right. So you slam the second door open. Some people were going to go for the second door. You close that door immediately, and they immediately see that and start heading down.
So he's closing the doors for the chapel floor to the hallway.
Correct.
I'm trying to stop anything that's in that chapel floor from coming out into the stairwell.
There's nothing in the chapel floor but you guys.
Well, but if they come out,
there is the big hole.
There's a big hole.
Oh, I see. You're going back to the chapel and closing the chapel door.
Yes.
I apologize.
Yes.
Okay.
No, yeah. I thought about something more monstrous, but I think you like camera wise, you just see him closing and locking a door, and you think he's about to kill everyone, but it's actually the chapel doors.
And
Oh.
and your timing is good because as you're slamming the door, you're seeing dead starting to fall into the hole that Zach made, and their bodies are falling and crunching onto the floor of the chapel. You close that off, and you're able to jam something to prevent that from happening. Zach, you've reached your cell.
All right, so I go to my bed and I pull a case from under the bed, and I just kind of I pop it open it up, and I lay a nice pressed uniform on the bed, and I am revealing my past. So I have a guard. But not only was I the guard, I'm actually the captain of the guards. And I've been in here keeping an eye on things and passing them information in case things were going awry. So, and if you'll let this fly, I have my full uniform: cuffs, baton,
Done.
pistol. It's all in there.
Yeah, we
So
see a montage of you suiting up.
And after that's done, the guards are close to us. I'm gonna go get them and Virginia also, who stays next to me, and I'll make my way to the group of guards in their
So
area.
we see Zach step outside where his cell is in full uniform. We see Zach starting to run back to the action, and he's slowly gathering the guards, and they're following him. They're like, "Oh, okay." Like they're surprised that you're revealing yourself, because they thought that they had, you were the inside guy, right? They start following you. Virginia's with you. We have you headed back. Trav, you get up to the top, and it is just people are moving their way down right at the threshold. The tides are cascading against each other. There's people and there's dead, and they're just clashing right at the threshold of the third the door to the third floor of this thing, and you're seeing people getting bitten. And it's a tug and a pull at this threshold when you get up there, and Hal's with you.
Okay, I see on the floor it's been kicked around a bit as people are running, but Keaton's Lud wrench is
Different stairwell.
it? Oh, this is the
There's two.
shit.
Yeah, there's two stairwells in the hole.
Okay, yeah. Then I'm just asking Hal to help me like close the doors against the tide of people, just to stem the flow here.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and have you trigger the NPC move. So walk me through what it is.
Okay, hold on.
Should be on your sheet.
Just want to look at his skills: survival and violence, flashlight, and stun gun. I would like. So I'm doing the
NPC allies
NPC
move.
ally. Direct your ally to take action. Draw 2 cards from the survivor deck. If the action is in line with the ally's skills, draw +1. If they have equipment or useful materials, draw +1. I would argue that he should be well suited to a physical task like this. And also, I'm hoping the flashlight might be able to be shoved in between like the door handles. This is what I was wanting to do with the wrench before I realized.
So so the goal is to get the dead on one side of this doorway, the living on the other, and slamming this door closed with Hal's help.
Yeah, primarily to get the dead on one side of the stairs.
If a couple survivors end up on the other side.
All the living on the other side of the stairwell is a stretch goal for this.
Okay, all right. So we're going to draw 2 cards. We're going to get +1 because of his violence skill. We're also going to get +1 because between the stun gun and the wrench, he's got equipment to work with. So Hal's helping you on this.
Miss. When does that get reshuffled again?
Every time.
Every time?
No, because
Does
I've
anyone
got an edge still sitting in front of me.
Yeah, that's what I was
All right, hold on. All right, let me recall. Hold on, recall.
We need to make sure. Oh, yeah, there's cards all over the place there.
All right, shuffle. All right, draw your 4 cards.
Thank you. opportunity.
You're right, Craig. He is a squeaky wheel.
This edge. Well, if all of the successes are on the table,
All right, so
That's not
an
fair.
edge or an opportunity. Which way are you going?
I am going to reveal my trauma, which is manic. Clear a stress when you ignore others' wishes and take things too far. You don't have to mark stress to push yourself on an opportunity card. I am fully closing these doors, regardless of how many people have made it out. I figure most of them have, and it's the best we can do. And there's clearly people being like, but wait, there's still people there. And I'm like, we have to act now. We have to close these doors right now.
And as you start to push those doors closed, the dead is contained. There's a couple survivors, uninfected, that are going into the tide. They're the barrier that's allowing you and Hal to push the dead without contacting the dead. And your last view before that door closes is of Stephen, one of the fathers of the family. And he goes, just save them, as the door slams. And you just see the dead just consume the 3 or 4 survivors that you locked on the other side. Flashlight jammed into the handle. They've got enough meat to keep them busy. They're not even pressing on the door other than just their weight.
All right, let's go.
Zach, you show up into you and the crew show up at the second floor as people are starting to pour into the second floor and to go down towards the first floor. Yep.
Actually, I didn't want to do that.
I'm
What
sorry.
I actually wanted to do is, how many guys do I have?
Like 4 or 5. Let's say 5.
All right. What I actually want to do is a zombie move. I want to barricade a place because I realize there's multiple entries that these things can come down. And I'm going to do it from the outside with my men. So we're going to barricade all the stairwell doors from the lower levels.
All right, so barricade a place. When you barricade a place against the zombies, draw survival. On a hit, the location is mostly secure. On an edge, the mark stress or suffer serious harm, your choice. So my question is what area are you trying to secure?
I'm sending some men to the one stairwell that would lead up to the second floor, and then me and the other ones will go to the other stairwell. So we're blocking the stairwell door. So if they come down the stairs, they can't get out into the building.
So it sounds like you're trying to, but what I'm focused on is what you're trying to secure. You're trying to secure the first floor?
Yes,
Okay.
From the second floor. Yes.
Yep. All right. So we're going to we're splitting the guys up. You're ordering them like the captain you are. You go to this stairwell. You go to the employee stairwell. We need to secure both of these. You yell them out. I need you. How much do you have in survival?
3.
All right. Draw my 3.
Did you recall all the cards?
I did. And I even shuffled them for you, big guy.
Fantastic.
You want that opportunity in there.
All right, so we got an edge, and we got a miss.
On an edge, mark stress or suffer serious harm. Go ahead and mark stress. This is a scramble, so go ahead and mark 1 stress for me. And you're able to secure the first floor, but there's a problem. You and the guards and a lot of those survivors are safe on that first floor. Trav and Sammy are up on the second floor. So I'm cutting to I want to cut to Trav. You've secured that. You're in the stairwell. You can hear the guards shuffling some people up, and you hear the slam of that first door. Sammy, where are you?
Sammy's still like between the kind of flights of stairs. And when he heard the upstairs door close, he was freaked out. Here, the lower ones closed. Does he see Derek?
See who?
Sorry, I'm having a name blank on me all of a sudden. Robert's character,
Zach.
Yeah, I called him Derek. I don't know why.
No, you guys don't see any of this. You just hear the slam and the slam. So, where Trav is he's in the stairwell of the general public stairwell.
Okay.
and he's there with Hal. They've closed things off. Some people have worked down. He's now trapped in the stairwell with a couple survivors and Hal. You're on the second floor. You hear the slam and the slam. You're by yourself in this hallway. There's dead in the chapel. You've secured that, but you now realize, based on the slams, it sounds like both stairwells might be closed off.
I think I'm yelling up to them saying, "It's time to go. We got to get out of here."
Yeah.
I get on the radio real quick to my guys. I'm like, if anybody tries to get out, take them out. We are now taking control. Big Jim's up there, so he's good as dead.
Do we hear that over Hal's radio? Does Hal have a radio?
He's a security guard. He's not guard.
He's not part of the crew.
Oh, I was so betrayed, feeling so betrayed by
he's
Hal.
like he's a security guard from somewhere else. Okay. I thought he was one of the guards.
Yeah.
Trav, you're up
Is
there
Jim
with Hal.
is Jim up here?
We don't know where Jim is. So Trav, you're up there with Hal. Hal's like, are we trapped?
No. You're never fully trapped. There is a way out of here. Come on, let's get down to the second floor.
Guys, we're trapped. There's no way out of here. Sammy's running up the stairs.
Can we meet up with Sam?
Sam is on that second floor.
So we were at the third floor.
Yep, you head down. That second floor door is open. There's people now coming up from the first floor going, they've barricaded the door. They're not letting anybody out.
Sorry, they who? Who has barricaded the door?
Guards.
Like, what? The guards wouldn't take a shit if somebody didn't tell them to.
And
okay.
Everybody's looking to you, Trav. And Sammy, you're standing there and you can see Trav just like being the politician. Like he's a figure of authority right now, and everybody's looking at him, and you understand the situation. You can see Trav down the hallway, and you can see Hal with him.
Okay. I'm gonna make a plan.
Ooh.
I'm going to take the zombie action, make a plan.
The zombie move, make a plan. When you make a plan, use the stat of the person who proposed the plan. That's going to be Trav. If it's a plan about taking violent, dangerous, destructive action, use savagery. If it's a plan about being careful, safe, stealthy, and smart, use survival. If it's a plan about talking, persuading, manipulating, or lying, use soul. And if it's a plan about pushing through, being tough, strong, and implacable, use steel. So what are we doing?
Okay. There is one room on this floor that does not have the bars over the windows, and it is the guards room, or it's like a, not a break room, but I guess
that's the warden's office.
Yeah. So what we need to do is get everyone, and also we need to be quiet, because this hallway and this building are not completely secure, and also there are apparently people trying to keep us in here.
I don't know why they're all looking at me. But they're all looking at me, Trav.
They're not looking at you. We are going to quietly go to the warden's office and assess the situation in there. I believe his window is actually fully open, and if there's no one on the other side of that, then we can make our way down from there.
All right, so let's talk about bonuses. You're going to be drawing survival. You can take +1 if the plan is supported by plenty of resources and people, no question. You've got a lot of people that are listening to you right now. Take +1 if you're basing the plan on accurate current information. Yes, I think it is. Okay, -1 if there's significant opposition that would interfere with the plan. Nope. -1 if there's significant dissent about what plan to follow. No, I think you're going to be +2 to this. Before we do that, I want to cut to Zach. Zach, the guards have secured things. They've got it set. One of the guards down the hallway towards the employee thing turns to you and he goes, Sir, there's like 4 uninfected here. Can I just let him in?
There's what?
There's 4 uninfected right on the other side. I mean, I'm keeping them out, but none of them's been bitten or nothing. And oh my, they're like crying and like, can I just?
How do you know
in?
they haven't been bitten?
Sir,
you willing to bet your life on that?
No, sir, but can I let him in?
I'm gonna calm down an NPC.
Okay. All right, so we're going to calm down an NPC. When you try to calm an NPC with logic or reason, draw steel. What is your logic and reason?
Well, basically what I said. You have no clue.
Got it?
You're not a doctor, and are you willing to bet your life on that?
All right. What do you have in steel?
Shuffle those
The
cards.
big two. The big two.
All right, give me a second here. I'm going to recall. I am going to shuffle. You're going to draw 2. I'm going to let him in. I'm going to.
I got an edge and a miss.
All right, on an edge, you get to pick one. They keep calm for some time, they reveal their true concerns, or they don't hold you responsible.
They keep calm for some time.
No, I get it. I'm going to watch them. But sir, I think they're fine.
And then I want to go ahead.
No, please.
Then I want to avert disaster.
All right, let's hold on that. Yep. So hold that. Sammy.
Yeah. Sammy's taking point going into this warden's office. If he said going in, I'm taking point. I'm leading the way.
Yeah.
Shooting
Yeah,
down
get
the
us
door.
there.
Beautiful. So let's see. Taking point. All right, go on point. When you take point against the dead, draw for the group and suffer alone. Draw +1 for each member of the group that draws from the bite deck before you draw. I don't think this fits. Nobody's threatened by the bite deck yet.
Okay. So this is
I think you're
that's
okay.
about fights. Okay.
Yep. So you're going to lead. You and Trav are leading people to the warden's office as you go. Zach, the resilience of this guard is waning very quickly. He's holding it for now, but you know he's going to eventually open that door.
I swap guards out. I have him leave and go back to the area or guard area.
The other guard goes, sir, what do you want me to do?
I want you to go secure our area, and Jenkins is going to take your place.
So he runs down. He goes, Jenkins, Captain wants you. Thank God. You could just see he's been relieved of this choice. And he starts running back towards you. You hear the guard you sent go, oh my God, Sarah. And he throws the door open. And a woman comes out and hugs him. He's like, oh my God, Sarah. And he goes to close the door. And 2 other people come in. And they're not walking regular. They're not walking normal.
Avert disaster.
All right. The disaster is that door is open and there's dead on the other side. So what are we going to do?
So at this point, I'm going to yell everybody to retreat, secure the outer doors. I'm going to grab Jenkins to pull them out. And then I'm going to... Yeah, and then
so you're going to leave Simpson and his wife to like...
No. I grab Simpson because he's right there. Come on, guys. And then I'll have to check her out once we get outside. But
all right, if we're going to draw survival, what do you have in survival?
3, not 2, not 4, but 3. Triumph, edge, and miss.
On a triumph, you manage it. So you get Jenkins and Sarah, most of the guards, the few straggler survivors that are down there with you. You get them out into the yard and you secure that door. So now you have made it much harder to get to the first floor and much harder, if you even make it to the first floor, to get outside. Where are you, Trav?
I'm letting Sammy lead the way to the warden's office.
Okay.
But I guess I'll take up the rear of the group that we're with.
It ends up being about 8 other than the 2 of you that make it into the warden's office. As you promised, Trav, go ahead.
I am going to whenever I get the opportunity, I'm going to peek out a window or like sneak into a room and peek out a window to look down at the ground floor and see if I can see the guards that.
Oh yeah, you
that
see
people
the
were talking about.
situation.
Okay.
You see Zach down there with the guards. Zach is dressed like a guard.
They recognize me with the hat and
They
everything on.
do.
Is
Trav
Zach's
recognizes
picture
you
in the
immediately.
warden's office on the wall?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
there you
it's
go.
even better.
There you go.
Oh, there's a group picture, and Trav is like, the fuck?
All right.
Sammy's so mad.
Yeah. Me too. Let's deal with it later.
I think this just inspires Sammy to really pick up a chair and huck it out the window very efficiently.
Glass crashes. There's no bars. It's about 8 foot down to get to the other side of the yard, opposite to where Zach and everybody are.
It also does not have any caution about jumping out of this window.
Trav?
How does
Everybody's looking at
Sammy
you and
do?
like, I can't.
How does Sammy do?
Sammy's fine. You see him, you go down
Okay.
there, he does a stuntman roll.
Okay, each person who's Hal, come. You're going to help lower people down. Sam, help catch them at the ground level. We will get people out one at a time. I will keep watch at the door.
Sammy's really struggling to not go after revenge right now.
So we see a bit of a montage as Trav and Sammy successfully get a handful of people safely out to the other side of the yard. Suddenly we have a faction that has been created, led by Zach, who's on the eastern yard with his guards, a handful of survivors, including.
Did I see how armed they are?
No, you don't have a sense of that. I mean, but as far as you know, there's no arms available, right?
Okay.
There's just that people have pieces of wood and shit that they put together. I don't think you've identified the fact that Zach is like handcuffs, baton, like trained. And I think that we pull away and leave our enclave, realizing that 3 people who were bonded together have suddenly become 2 people plus 1 people. We have 2 factions separated by one wing of this prison. We now have the guards versus the survivors. We'll be back on the other side of the credits. I need to go on record that I love this freaking game. 7 hours ago is when I proposed this for the 4 of us to get together and do this. No idea. Literally no idea what was going to happen. And how much did we just pack into 2 hours of play?
It was awesome.
20 minutes.
Season content of Walking Dead.
Yeah, I mean, in 20 minutes, we spun up an entire enclave, 3 characters, some allies, some relationships. And I think part of what I think is cool, and it happened in the first time we ran this game, we didn't use everything. and that's okay. We just have all of these tools in front of us, the allies, the relationships, the traumas, the past. Some of it got used, not all of it got used. It's phenomenal. And like what an incredible 2 hours this was for me. So like I love this freaking game. So real quick, I believe the three of you have never played before. This is your first time playing.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to start with you, Robert. I want thoughts, then stars and wishes. So thoughts has to be really about the game, not what we played necessarily, but the game Zombie World. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So for transparency, because I already held it up, I do own the game, but I've never got to play it. Okay.
Did you
Um,
own it before I turned you on to it, or did you get Craiged?
oh yeah, yeah. No, I've had this for a long
Oh,
time.
okay.
It's just one of those things sitting on my shelves, like 15, 13 other things. You know how
Yeah.
it is.
Yep.
But the reason I got it was because of how it was advertised like this, and I'm glad it actually is, because usually they say it's something, you get it, it sucks. But anyway, so yeah, the thing that got me to the game is, number one, there's no prep. So if you need to pull it out because of something, you're good to go. The other thing that I like about it, it's a group storytelling game, right? There's mechanics, but the mechanics don't dictate the game, right? The players dictate the game and what mechanics you're going to use. And using the cards, that's also pretty cool too. So it's an elegant game. It's simple. There's no learning curve really, because everything's spelled out for you. So yeah, it's awesome. I recommend it. Stars. I hate to be that guy, but everybody. I mean,
Well, do it this way for me then, Robert. When you tomorrow morning get up and are having your coffee, what part of the last 2 hours is going to replay in your head?
how I betrayed everybody. I mean, if I'm
And that-
being honest.
No, that's a star.
Yeah, I mean, there was just a lot of good parts, and that's what I. But honestly, I mean, if you're gonna put it like that, I'll wake you going, yeah, I fucked those guys.
I mean, it was a turning point that changed the entire course
Yeah.
of the
It really
the
did.
round.
It really did. So, in a
And-
world where there's a part 2 to play through 2, what are you wishing for?
Yeah, so wish to define the areas a little bit better. Because if we do continue, it is going to be a faction. Now, there was something I was going to try to do to bring everything possibly back, but I don't know yet.
And hold on to that, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, like, I'd be down to play this again in a heartbeat. So.
You think there's more story to tell here?
Oh yeah. I mean, the story only ends when you're dead. I mean, there's just so much you can do.
All right, Nathan. Let's start off with thoughts.
I really like the way the game, like the Powered by the Apocalypse inspired rules, but with the cards. That's just it's a really nice, like, dramatic mechanic. But I do notice, I remember you saying, like, last game, that your players had trouble really using the advantages, and I still felt like that was kind of in play here. Like that's a little tricky to integrate into the game, I'm noticing.
It
Yep.
depends heavily on like what the situation is
The
too.
direction it goes, yeah. Yep. So in transparency, I felt my big regret after playing this once was like, God, we left so much on the table. There were so many advantages we didn't use. The Enclave advantages we never got used. There was a bunch of allies that never got even really came to life in the first playthrough. It happened again here, but I'm coming to peace with it, that if this is going to be 2.5 hours, you're not going to get to all of it. What's
That's
key
a
is
lot.
that all the ingredients are out there.
Yeah.
Let's see what we make, and we're not
It's
gonna use them all.
options. Like if we would have went with the plan, with the Ripper, then my NPC and his NPC would have came into play. But it didn't quite go that way.
Think
Well,
about how different it would have been if I'd drawn a different inciting card for time passes.
Yeah.
And it makes the world feel alive when there's stuff that doesn't get used, because that's the way the world is.
Yep.
We didn't even leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So stars, what really what sticks with you,
Oh,
Nathan, when you think about the
DZ's
small morning
reaction
drinking
when we
coffee?
were like, and we're gonna feed him to the Ripper. Like, just his eyes at that moment were just perfect. Like, it was a really funny moment to me.
I loved it too, because Trav had a very, very non-psychopathic reaction to this
Yeah.
discussion that you
Yeah.
two felt super comfortable about having.
Coming into the middle of that conversation was rough.
Hey, I'm cruel, so no problems.
Yeah.
Well, and I loved it, and I loved it because both Sammy and Zach were doing it knowing their traumas, knowing their past, but we didn't. And I
Yeah.
love that. I really, really love that. All right. So wishes, Nathan, in a world where we have part 2 of playthrough 2, what are you wishing for?
I am wishing for something out on the water, whether it's a boat chase or someone trying to swim away. I want our island to become a important issue.
I like it. DZ, you're the one that made this happen because you reached out and you're like, what do I got to do to play Zombie World?
Well, thank you,
So,
sir.
what are your thoughts? You've watched it and now you've played it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I really like the let's really quick build the world before our first playthrough system. It takes weight off of the GM's shoulders, and it makes everybody collaborative and invested in the world and in what's about to transpire. So, like, you know, in D&D you get to make up your character backstory. It may or may not, usually doesn't have anything to do with, you know, the overall plot, but like what happened tonight was changed dramatically by our present cards and by the other cards that we had hidden, in addition to just like making the island itself before, like,
Yep.
in the 20 minutes before we started playing. So I really like that microscope style integration into stuff like this.
Stars?
Yeah, I mean, that conversation at the beginning where even as like imagining an audience just coming up at 2 people at a picnic table and be like, should we feed some people to the cannibal who's locked up? Like the audience is just expected to accept that. I mean, like, okay, so these are the bad guys. We're starting by watching the assholes make a plan.
The villains.
But no, that's who we're going to be following. So yeah, what a curious way to start a game, but it did
Wonderful
set the tone.
opener. Yeah,
set the tone. Like, and it also
I don't play around.
Yeah, and it put me at odds with them immediately.
Right.
and credit to all 3 of you for knowing you could go hard, right? So I think Robert, you started it. Nate, you're like, oh, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Like everybody went hard, everybody leaned in, and I absolutely loved it.
So funny
Yeah,
story about that.
Yeah.
The when we said we were playing in the prison, I don't know why I started thinking about G. Gordon Libby, and I was like, he would definitely be like down with this. He'd be going along.
Yeah, and then I have to, like, I'm the only person left, so I have to come in and play the straight man. Like, the fuck are you talking about?
I'm a cook.
Yeah. So that was a really fun way to start. And,
so if we do playthrough 2 part 2.
Yeah, what I like about like shows like this is when it gets into the battle of not wits, because not everybody likes to use their wits. It becomes a battle of like who can define the terms of engagement. So the person who likes to use their wits wants it to be a battle of wits. The people who are strong want it to be a fight. And I like seeing, if we're going to get into factions, I enjoy seeing like factions and leaders of factions trying to figure out how to best use their advantages to turn things in their favor.
I think the 3 of you created a pressure cooker where we could do another 2 hours without a single undead showing up, and it would be nail biting.
Yeah.
And that's
part of
phenomenal.
the setting.
Yeah, it's on brand, right? I mean, it when there's all kinds of different versions of zombie horror. one of the biggest ones and one of my favorite ones, which is the first 2 seasons of Walking Dead. After that, it just went to shit. But
Yeah.
is that the dead are the existential pressure.
Yep.
The
Part
threat.
of the setting. That's how I always said that.
Exactly. I love playing with you guys. And
Thanks
Nathan,
for
we got
setting this up.
it's
Well,
great,
invite me to
man.
more stuff.
So Robert, I can't wait to figure out what the hell's gonna happen with our band.
Yeah.
DZ, it's gonna get real nutty real fast on public access.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
So get ready. And Nathan, we got to figure out how to get you into the next one.
You know it'll happen. I'm around. So
All right, beautiful. Take care, all. Thanks for watching.
Thanks everybody.
Howdy, friends. Thank you for watching. All our content is archived and organized in playlists on the Third Floor Wars YouTube channel. Check it out. And if you could like, follow, subscribe, and even set your notifications to this channel on YouTube and Twitch, we'd appreciate it, and it'll make sure that you catch all of our content. I talk with creators, designers, and experts across the gaming landscape in every episode of our podcast, Tabletop Talk. Open up your favorite podcatcher and search for Tabletop Talk from Third Floor Wars. Support your creators. They make the content you love, and it's your support that makes it happen. If you want to help us, go to Third Floor Wars on patreon.com, and you can help us for as little as $1 a month. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Take care.